morning, RWL fans. RWL Rage emanating from Edmonton, Canada this evening. We're glad you're aboard. I'm Don Hickson, and joining me will be Myron Schimmelman, booking agent. Christy Ogilvie has the night off, but joining us will be Snarl General Manager Hangman Tex Lynch.
Oh, Don, I guess they put me in the booth with you so I wouldn't wrestle tonight. Oh, how's everybody doing? It is going to be a great 2-hour Rage card with my boys Don and Myron.
And let me tell you, we got some matches lined up that you're definitely not going to want to miss.
Indeed. Every facet, every division of RWL represented here tonight. We've got ladies matches, tag team matches, and championship matches. So definitely sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Yeah, that's right. Do sit back and enjoy the show. We are going to start the show off tonight with some cruiserweight action involving Ricochet. Yes, Ricochet is back tonight, and he's going to be facing off against Mad Dog Mark McKay.
This will be the first time they bump heads. It should be good.
Here's Ricochet and Mad Dog Mark McKay starting things off this evening. Let's turn it over to ring announcer Aria Mitchell for the introduction.
Good evening, Edmonton, and welcome to RWL Rage. Our first match, scheduled for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first, from Paducah, Kentucky, weighing 190 pounds, here is Ricochet.
Young cruiserweight icon Ricochet, late of WWE, Ring of Honor, and most recently plying his trade in All Elite Wrestling, but making an appearance here tonight in RWL, going up against Mad Dog Mark McKay.
Love his work, but he is a social media big mouth, and he's proven it more than once. In fact, he's made some comments this evening regarding Mad Dog Mark McKay's lady, Miss Morse X. He seems to think he knows who she is, which is not a good thing if you're Ricochet and Mad Dog Mark McKay's in the building mad at you.
Let me tell you, he caught wind of what Ricochet said, and he lost it. I mean, he absolutely went fucking nuts.
He doesn't seem to understand how protective Mad Dog Mark McKay is of Miss Morse X and her identity.
I got the feeling he's about to find it out.
And his opponent, joined at ringside by Miss Morse X, from Ithaca, New York, weighing 205 pounds, here is Mad Dog Mark McKay.
And when it got back to Mark McKay, that Ricochet thinks he knows who Miss Morse X is, he had some choice words.
No matter where you go in this world, you're always going to encounter someone who thinks they know everything. In this case, that's Ricochet. This buffoon is running around making noise, suggesting he knows who Miss Morse X is. You know something, Ricochet? I don't like Samantha Irvin, but I keep her name out of my mouth. Tonight I'm going to teach you to do the same.
And while no one's really sure about the relationship between Mad Dog Mark McKay and Miss Morse X, one thing is certain. Whatever it is they feel for each other, it is profound.
Plus, it's gotten a whole lot deeper since he got here. Have you noticed?
Indeed I have. Miss Morse X displaying exceptional degrees of affection towards Mad Dog Mark McKay, and he is obviously very defensive of Miss Morse X, and I believe Ricochet is about to find this out.
With the toe of McKay's boot firmly wedged between Ricochet's ass cheeks. Yeah, he's about to find it out, all right.
I'll be the first one to admit, Tex, I love your way with words. Well, Ricochet is primed. Mr. McKay is primed. Referee Walt Rothburn sounds the bell, and here we go. Ricochet opens up with a right, a kick, and look at this. A beautiful roll-up pin, one, but just one. But it was a beautiful roll-up pin nonetheless. McKay with a spinning neckbreaker on Ricochet. McKay whips Ricochet to the far left corner, drives a knee into the midsection, follows that up with a boot to the chest. And now more boot to the chest for Ricochet, courtesy of Mad Dog Mark McKay, and he is definitely irritated with Ricochet and his big mouth. Elbows to the midsection for McKay. Ricochet rebounds off the ropes. A flying elbow, beautifully done. Ricochet covers, hooks the leg. One, 2. A near fall, but not near enough. Mad Dog McKay getting that right shoulder up. Hard forearm from Ricochet takes McKay down to the canvas. Followed up with a stomp to the shoulder and a stomp to the midsection and a driving knee into the lower back of Mad Dog Mark McKay. McKay trapped in that corner again. Ricochet slams his head into the turnbuckle. Rounds him up, seats him up on the top turnbuckle. Ricochet obviously with some bad intentions. With Mad Dog Mark McKay a slap across the head as Ricochet makes his way to the top turnbuckle as well. And here we go. Whoa! A beautiful avalanche spinning slam. Ricochet would have hurt himself in the process. Ricochet moves in, follows up another stomp to the arm. McKay counters with a kick quickly, back up on his feet, drives a knee right into the head of Ricochet. Followed up with another kick to the head. And a beautiful fist drop from Mad Dog Mark McKay. Oh, here we go. Talking trash to Ricochet. Ricochet with a driving knee. Suddenly taking McKay down. McKay just as equally quick with a running DDT. Ricochet steps out to think things over a hot second. Gets a hold of McKay. Escorts him towards the ropes. Ricochet lines it up. There's a clothesline over the top rope out onto the floor. Goes Mad Dog Mark McKay, but right back in. And whoa! Caught Ricochet on the charge with an elbow. McKay delivers a kick to the leg of Ricochet. And whoa! What a right hand. Did you see that? Ricochet went down like a chopped down tree. Off the top rope, and this is with the crossbody by about a foot. Certainly misjudged the distance on that one. McKay drops a leg across the arm of Ricochet. And now Ricochet on the receiving end of the business here. McKay with a clubbing overhand right. Rounds up Ricochet, whips him to the ropes. Back body drop center ring for Ricochet. As McKay begins gouging the eyes of Ricochet. McKay definitely dialed into a different level this evening. A clubbing overhand right to Ricochet, and here he comes. Whoa! What a kick. Took Ricochet over the top rope, out on the floor. Here goes Mad Dog Mark McKay after him. Follows up with a stomp to the back. Takes himself back. No, he's not taking himself back inside. He's going all the way up to the top turnbuckle. Changes his mind about the high-risk maneuver. And perhaps should have changed his mind yet again, as that high-risk maneuver did not pay off. Ricochet off the top rope, and he certainly nailed it with a beautiful hurricanrana on McKay as referee Walt Rothburn initiates the count. Only as far as 2. McKay crashed to the floor by Ricochet with an over-the-shoulder maneuver. Ricochet still working on a down to Mark McKay on the outside as the referee continues to count. McKay driven towards the barricades as Ricochet makes his way over the top rope back inside, and Walt Rothburn continues to count Mad Dog Mark McKay. McKay makes his way back to the ring, and he does not look happy. A kick to the midsection to Ricochet. And an underhook suplex from McKay. McKay rounds up Ricochet, sets him up for a pile driver. Oh, man, and he caught all of it. Mad Dog Mark McKay slowly and deliberately making his way to the top turnbuckle. And here, oh, that was a beautiful one. And here's a cover and a hook of the leg. 1, 2, 3, and just like that, Mad Dog Mark McKay wraps this one up, defeating Ricochet by pinfall.
Here's the time, 6 minutes, 1 second, and your winner, Mad Dog Mark McKay.
Well, just one quick observation in this particular matchup, Don. It seemed to me that Ricochet did have all the advantage going into it, but somehow, some way, Mad Dog Mark McKay lost his temper and he put Ricochet out.
Mark McKay certainly delivering a 1-2 combination with that pile driver and an off-the-top turnbuckle cross-body to Ricochet that led to the 3-count pinfall from Mad Dog Mark McKay. Ladies and gentlemen, There's a whole lot more RWL Rage on the way, and we'll be back with all of it immediately following these brief messages. Alright fans, as Rage continues, so does Myron Schimmelman's quest to make or break the Toxic Table. And tonight, AJ Hawk and Boston Connor will be facing Golden Al Barnett and Vic LaRue, the Canadian Cartel.
Yeah, boy, Canuck it up.
Our next tag team match, scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Coming down the aisle, from parts unknown, combined weight, also unknown, here are AJ Hawk and Boston Connor, the Toxic Table.
Timu Sammartino and the Hamburglar back again. Oh man, Myron, you gotta give me the background on this one.
I think they're actually getting smarter, Tex. They've actually started asking questions.
Questions like what?
Like, why are you trying to destroy us, Mr. Schimmelman?
Well, you know, Myron, they may be unpopular, they may not be overly bright, and they certainly aren't popular. But I will say this, if you keep feeding them these kind of matches, they're gonna improve.
That's kind of the idea. I figure if I could actually make decent wrestlers out of them, it might be worth the effort.
An interesting sociological study, Myron. I wonder how it's going to turn out.
I have no idea, but I'll let you know.
Well, I don't know that AJ Hawk and Boston Connor are quite ready to take on the likes of Golden Al Barnett and Vic LaRue, the Canadian Cartel.
You know, these two may surprise the hell out of us one day and actually win a match.
Boston Connor has one win over the Big Boss Man, that's all.
And their opponents, at a combined weight of 483 pounds. From Calgary, Alberta, Canada, Golden Al Barnett, and from Quebec City, Vic LaRue. Together they are the Canadian Cartel.
And they're also the star pupils of the Riley Flash Wrestling Academy. Golden Al Barnett and Vic LaRue, the Canadian Cartel, still nowhere near tag team gold, but they are still extremely popular, especially here in Edmonton.
And who's to say Al and Vic might not someday snag tag team gold? That's definitely a possibility that exists.
One thing's for sure, they didn't misspend their wrestling school money.
Well, we have quite a few talents that have come out of Riley Flash's Wrestling Academy, including these guys, Brooklyn Von Brown and Josie Jane. I guess Riley's no slouch.
The partners have chosen sides, and it'll be AJ Hawk and Vic LaRue initiating contact in this tag team matchup. Referee Walt Rothburn sounds the bell. A series of shots from AJ Hawk quickly countered by LaRue. LaRue whips him to the far right corner. A chop across the chest. And another. AJ Hawk rounded up head first into the turnbuckle. Vic LaRue moves right back in. Gets a hold of him. Drives him into the turnbuckles and a German release suplex for a good measure. LaRue steps out. In comes Golden Al Barnett. AJ Hawk still laid out from that German suplex. And oh, what a hometown advantage for the Canadian Cartel. The fans are absolutely loving them and absolutely despising the Toxic Table. Flip over neck whip from Barnett. AJ Hawk has not moved from that spot. Barnett rounds him up. Hard Irish whip to the ropes. A duck under from Barnett. A leapfrog from Barnett. And look at this. Whoa. A quick counter from AJ Hawk. I must confess myself surprised. Here we go all the way. Oh, what a nasty brainbuster. And a spinning clothesline from AJ Hawk. He's trying to change the momentum of things here. Rounds up Barnett. Pitches him halfway across the ring. Barnett catches an elbow to the back from AJ Hawk. A chop, a kick, and a headbutt. And down goes Golden Al Barnett. Barnett catches another headbutt from AJ Hawk as in comes Boston Connor on the tag. Boston Connor rounds up Barnett. Rebounds off the ropes and an elbow right across the jaw. Here's a cover from Boston Connor, one, but just barely a one. Barnett quickly getting the shoulder up there. A front cradle. So Boston Connor a smash into the turnbuckle and spun out to the center of the ring. Barnett with an armbar on Boston Connor. Barnett steps out. Here comes Vic LaRue. LaRue catches a clothesline from Boston Connor. Quickly stands himself back up, gets locked up. Boston Connor winds him up into a Russian leg sweep. Boston Connor rebounds off the ropes. A leg drop right across the throat of Vic LaRue. And there's a falling neckbreaker as Boston Connor tags in AJ Hawk. LaRue with a jumping elbow. Immediately going after Boston Connor as well, but taken down by AJ Hawk. A series of elbows from Vic LaRue. AJ Hawk quickly disengaged here. Hard whip to the ropes. LaRue with the duck under and the leapfrog. Whoa, AJ Hawk quickly putting on the brakes there. Whips LaRue out over the top rope down onto the floor. Referee Walt Rothburn starts the count as AJ Hawk turns his attention to Golden Al Barnett. Barnett not having it. Boston Connor rolls Vic LaRue back into the ring as an assist to AJ Hawk. Hawk whipped to the far corner. An elbow, a quick counter from Vic LaRue. LaRue has him up, walks him to the corner, drops him head first into the buckle. Here's a cover. One. And just a one. AJ Hawk rolls to the outside. Vic LaRue diving off the top with a double axe handle across the head of AJ Hawk. LaRue turns his attention to Boston Connor. Cracks him a beauty across the head. Takes him outside to the apron. Drops him on the lip of the apron. Vic LaRue, a one-man fighting machine here, gets a hold of the ankle on AJ Hawk. As Hawk moves in on Golden Al Barnett, Vic LaRue quickly with a wraparound DDT on AJ Hawk. Vic LaRue rounding up AJ Hawk. Boston Connor nowhere in sight at the moment. Hawk counters him, whips him into the corner, delivers a shot to the ribs. And there's Boston Connor. He is back and making the tag from AJ Hawk. LaRue charges, catches a clothesline from Boston Connor. Followed up with a stomp to the head. Boston Connor rounded up to a standing position. Here we go. Oh, Vic LaRue catches a hard right. And here's a tag to Golden Al Barnett. A quick tag at that. Barnett opens up with a series of rights and lefts. Gets a hold of Boston Connor. Whips him to the ropes and a kitchen sink knee to the midsection for Boston Connor. Oh, Golden Al Barnett yanking the arm of Boston Connor against those ropes. A drop toe hold from Barnett. And stretching the leg of Boston Connor. Boston Connor quickly counters a series of shots to the head to Golden Al Barnett. They lock up. Barnett escorted to the ropes. Boston Connor paying him back a little bit. Yanking the arm of Golden Al Barnett against the ropes. Barnett whipped to the rope. Look at this. Whoa. Wow. What a suplex from Boston Connor. With Boston Connor with the claim to fame of having won his very first match against the big boss man, AJ Hawk, in on the tag. Barnett whips him to the corner. Drapes the leg over the middle rope and delivers a kick to the calf of AJ Hawk. Barnett has him up. There's a backbreaker as Vic LaRue is brought in. AJ Hawk on the outside. LaRue making a beeline for Boston Connor. Tags him another shot across the noggin and drops him again on the lip of the apron as AJ Hawk is rolled back into the ring. But Golden Al Barnett taking a dive over here and a jumping elbow from Vic LaRue to AJ Hawk. AJ Hawk rounded up. LaRue with an armbar on AJ Hawk. Boston Connor still non-compass menace at the moment. LaRue winds up the arm, delivers a kick to the chest. LaRue rounds him up, discus punch. Takes Hawk down again. LaRue takes a moment to do a little showboating, but in comes Boston Connor while he does. Boston Connor catches a snap suplex from Vic LaRue. LaRue drives an elbow right into the forehead and takes down A.J. Hawk at the same time. Vic LaRue, definitely a one-man fighting machine for sure. Boston Connor catches him with an elbow on the outside. Rounds him up, a hard forearm. Drops LaRue to the floor. Oh, leg drop from Boston Connor. LaRue catches a hard right. Boston Connor goes behind, electric chair drop. Near the barricades on the outside for Vic LaRue. LaRue pitched halfway across. Boston Connor. Just a little bit of vulgarity there. LaRue misses with the elbow. Gets a hold of Boston Connor with this chicken wing suplex on the outside as the referee continues to count. LaRue gathers up Boston Connor. Gets him back inside the ring. Here comes A.J. Hawk. Vic LaRue gets a hold of him. Lays in a cravat suplex on A.J. Hawk. Boston Connor trying to get back to his feet, but Vic LaRue right there and again taking down both members of the Toxic Table all by his lonesome. Vic LaRue performing tonight for the fans here in Edmonton. Here comes Golden Al Barnett. Boston Connor finally stands himself up, a jumping elbow as A.J. Hawk intercedes on behalf of his partner. Slam Barnett down to the canvas. A.J. Hawk smashes the head of Barnett into the turnbuckle. Has him up, scoop slams him. Here's a cover from A.J. Hawk. One. But just a one. Again. A headbutt from A.J. Hawk as he departs and lets Boston Connor back in. Barnett catches a right, a couple of rights, a left, and an uppercut from Boston Connor. Swing and a miss from Boston Connor. Barnett gonna correct the mistake here. Whips him to his team's corner. Moves in, gets a hold of Boston Connor. And whoa! Practically suplexed him into the corner. Barnett with a hold on Boston Connor. Oh man. Package fisherman. One. But A.J. Hawk there to intercede for his partner again. Well, to their credit, the Toxic Table do function reasonably well as a team. Barnett gets a hold of Boston Connor, whips him to the corner. Again, torturing the arm against the ropes. Barnett with another grip on Boston Connor, has him and does it again. Suplexes him right into the corner. And I think he caught every single turnbuckle. Barnett all the way up. There's a double axe handle across the head of Boston Connor. Followed up with a stop as again the referee begins to count. And this match has gone on for quite some time now. And still no sign of a victor. Barnett countered by Boston Connor with elbows to the midsection. Boston Connor drives him headfirst into the ring post, Tex.
It's into the ring post time with the title on the line. You can play it anytime, even if you're 99.
Yes, I know. All right, well, another elbow from Boston Connor. Golden Al Barnett finding himself in a bit of trouble here. Boston Connor with a vertical suplex, well executed on Barnett. Because this a quick step. Whoa! Beautiful judo-style arm drag as Boston Connor tags in A.J. Hawk. Barnett. Oh my, catches a beauty of a drop kick. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg. 1, 2, and almost as close to a near fall as we've come so far in this matchup. But Vic LaRue spoiling the pin for A.J. Hawk. Clubbing overhand right to Barnett. Barnett counters with a shot to the midsection. A discus punch takes A.J. Hawk down. Hawk rolls out to the floor. Barnett turns his attention to Boston Connor. Tags him a couple of rights and out to the floor he goes. And A.J. Hawk makes his way back inside the ring. Barnett with a beautiful wraparound DDT. A.J. Hawk back on the receiving end of the business here, as Barnett escorts A.J. Hawk towards the center of the ring. Barnett winding it up here. Here's a crossface center ring. Boston Connor attempting to intercede here, but Barnett releasing the hold in any case. A.J. Hawk rounded up. Counter whips Barnett, but Barnett with a couple of boots to the face of A.J. Hawk. And here's a belly-to-belly suplex from Barnett. In comes Vic LaRue. A.J. Hawk laid out center ring here. A stomp to the chest, a stomp to the face from Vic LaRue. LaRue with a driving knee into the head of A.J. Hawk. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg. 1, 2, 3, and so ends this one as the Canadian Cartel picks up a tough win over the Toxic Table.
Here's the time, 13 minutes, 36 seconds, and your winners, Al Barnett and Vic LaRue, the Canadian Cartel.
All right, Myron, Barnett and LaRue picking up the pinfall win here, but not completely destroying the Toxic Table in record time. What's your evaluation?
I'm not sure if the Toxic Table are getting better or tougher. It's hard to decide.
Well, hell, isn't tougher better? I suppose, in its own way, yeah, it could be. And to be fair, A.J. Hawk and Boston Connor lasted a hell of a lot longer than they usually do.
That is for certain. The Canadian Cartel picking up a win here over the Toxic Table. We'll be back with more RWL Rage right after this.
Alright, so check it out. Last time on Snarl, I said Doink the Clown against RWL Hardcore Hall of Famer, the deranged King Ott. And King Ott clean Doink the Clown's clock, as His Majesty is wont to do. However, tonight, a special treat for you Rage fans, as tonight, the King, the ruler of the Kingdom of Rue, the Manic Monarch, the deranged King Ott, goes into an extreme no-rules match against the genocidal, homicidal, suicidal death machine Sabu.
I like the way you done that. That was cool, Myron.
Thank you very much.
This next match is a no-rules match scheduled for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Coming down the aisle from Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, weighing 325 pounds, he's an RWL Hall of Famer and the reigning Japan 5-star Extreme Champion. Ruler of the Kingdom of Rue, the deranged King Ott.
Along with General Manager Mr. Hercules, the deranged King Ott. He certainly has some wild fans. King Ott, one of the original Dirty 30, the original 30-man roster that eventually became RWL, multi-time champion over and over and over again. World Heavyweight Champion, Hardcore Champion, Tag Team Champion, King Ott's done it all.
Lucky me, I'll get to see him twice. I got to see him in Snarl, now I get to see him in a hardcore match against Sabu.
I kinda had to. He was a big hit at Snarl, going up against Doink the Clown. Now he's in his own element, in a hardcore match.
His opponent from Bombay, Michigan, weighing 243 pounds, hardcore legend, Sabu.
Hardcore Legend doesn't do Sabu justice. He is something of a hardcore craftsman. We've seen him in competition in tag team action with Rob Van Dam, but we're seeing him in a single hardcore match tonight against the deranged King Ott, and I can't imagine which one of them is going to win.
I got no idea either, but I thought it would be a terrific match.
Hard to say which one of them's going to prevail. They've both been doing hardcore matches about equally as long. And here we go. The ref sounds the bell. Ott with a hard right hand. Sabu rolls around. Delivers a jab, a couple of shots, a kick to the midsection. Rounds him up, but a jawbreaker. So King Ott off the top rope. Sabu goes air on His Majesty. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg right away. 1, 2, a near fall, but this is a hardcore match, and they haven't even barely gotten started. Sabu winds him up. Spinning neckbreaker from Sabu. King Ott whipped over the top rope, out onto the apron. Sabu with a hard forearm. Gets a hold of King Ott, hangs him up off the middle rope, and down goes the King. Sabu over the top rope to the outside. King Ott swings and misses with a clothesline. Gives out an inverted atomic drop and double boost to the face from Sabu. Sabu rounds up Ott. Hard forearm. Takes the King down. Again tonight, the referee, the fifth post in the middle of the ring. He doesn't even have to count. Fifth burst into the ring post again, Tex.
It's into the ring post time with the title on the line. You can play it anytime, even if you're 99. Into the ring post time, into the ring post time, into the ring post time, into the ring post time.
I'm glad you enjoyed that. Sabu with a drop kick that barely makes King Ott flinch. There's a knee to the head from the King of Rue. And the King about to have a meeting of the minds with Sabu. A series of savage headbutts from King Ott, the former multi-time hardcore champion, rolling Sabu back inside the ring. King Ott going under the apron here for a little something extra. Comes back with a sledgehammer. Sabu quickly rebounding off the ropes, gets a hold of him, and there's the whirly kick. King Ott taken for a spin by Sabu. Sabu rounds up King Ott, falling neckbreaker to King Ott. Ott back up on his feet, double chop from Sabu, takes Ott right back down against Sabu. Over the top rope to the outside, going under the apron. Was he coming? Oh my, a ladder. Good God. Sabu bringing out the heavy artillery early in the game here. King Ott rounds him up over the shoulder, hangs him up off the top rope, and Sabu lands on that ladder. Look at this, Ott going for a cocky pin. 1, but barely a 1. Technically not even a pin, as Sabu's shoulders were not on the mat. There's a knee right to the head of Sabu. King Ott pitches him across the ring by his throat.
They're beating his feet on the Mississippi mud, too. Oh, man.
King Ott rounds him up, has him up, and hangs him up off the top rope. Sabu's head landing on that ladder. King Ott with a Luthez press, a series of mounted punches to Sabu. A hard overhand right, a clubbing double axe handle. Sabu rebounding off the ropes again and taking King Ott for another spin as he spins out center ring. Sabu with a blatant choke to King Ott. And it's all as legal as Traveler's Aid here. Sabu once more going under the ring, comes up with a trash can. King Ott producing a table. Well, this is going to get out of hand right away. King Ott smashed head first into the lip of that trash can. Sabu pitches it halfway across to the head of King Ott. Ott rolls back to his, a shoulder tackle, taking Sabu down to the floor. King Ott already displaying some signs of fatigue as he goes under the ring. Sabu right there catches a kendo stick right to the head from King Ott. King Ott barely flinches, locks up Sabu. Sabu pitches him into the barricade, almost into the cameraman. Sabu, a little bit of showing off here for the cameras. King Ott on the ground here, catching fists to the knee from Sabu. Sabu makes his way back inside the ring. Rounds him up a sledgehammer. He's going after King Ott with that thing. Ott quickly disarms him, gets a hold of Sabu, and pitches him towards the corner barricades. The King rounds him up. Sabu smashed hard with a powerbomb and a driving knee to the head from the deranged King Ott. The Manic Monarch rounds up. Oh, pitches the kendo stick but misses. Sabu rounds up King Ott. Again pitches him towards the corner barricades. And we're getting it up close and personal here. Whoa! Beautiful, beautiful slam from Sabu. Deftly stepping over the ring steps. King Ott is laid out. Sabu rounds him up. Drives him into the ring steps. Follows it up with a stomp to the back. And into another blatant choke. King Ott's already bleeding. What a hardcore match this has turned out to be so far. Sabu figuring out what he wants to do here. Evidently take his time. King Ott is out to lunch. Ott back to a standing position. Sabu nails him with another forearm and down he goes again. Sabu returning for more. Look at this. Rounds up King Ott. Pitches him towards the opposing corner. A diving headbutt on the outside from Sabu. Unbelievable. Sabu catches a kick to the head from King Ott back up on his feet. I can't believe he's still standing. King Ott gathers up Sabu. Escorts him to the ring, rolls him back inside. Sabu quickly getting back up to a standing position. King Ott takes him down to the clothesline and goes for an immediate cover here. One, but no. Sabu powering out of the pin. Ott misses with the swing. Caught him by the throat. Oh! Drove both knees into his back from a chokeslam position. A clubbing overhand right from King Ott. King Ott, slams Sabu across that ladder. A hard right across the back of Sabu. King Ott has him up. Power bombs him practically into the corner again. King Ott gathers Sabu up, takes him to the far corner, pitches his head into the turnbuckle. Has him up. Oop, slams him. Where are we going from here? King Ott up on the middle rope. Awaiting Sabu to reach a standing position here. And totally misses and landed right on this keister. He's going to feel that one in the morning. Oh, look, whoa! He just spit something into the eyes of Sabu and a cover. 1, 2. It's completely legal. But King Ott spraying the mist into the face of Sabu. Ott ducks under, leapfrogs, and a power slam to Sabu. Amazing agility for a man 6'6", 325 pounds. King Ott, again, as you say, beating his feet on the Mississippi mud. King Ott gouges the face of Sabu. His Majesty gathers up Sabu, hangs him up off the top rope. Down goes Sabu again towards center ring. King Ott stepping to the outside for a minute. Comes back inside. This is a strange habit he has. King Ott rounds up Sabu. Sabu quickly counters. Gets a hold of King Ott. Whips him to the ropes. Beautiful arm drag from Sabu. Sabu figuring out where he's going next. He's got a chair. King Ott. Whoa, what the hell was that? But it took Sabu down, but quick. A stomp to the shoulder from King Ott, who now has that chair. His Majesty setting up a construction project in the corner. And here comes Sabu. Whoa! King Ott landing on that ladder, and here's a cover. 1, 2. And this time, King Ott's shoulders were on the mat. Brutal matchup so far. Sabu Swings and misses. King Ott catches a DDT from Sabu. Ott rolls out to the floor. Sabu charges over the... Whoa, my! Whoa, King Ott went down hard. Sabu with a serious high-risk maneuver there. And now biting the hand of the deranged King Ott. Ott back up on his feet. Sabu nails him with another DDT on the outside. Referee Walt Rothburn allowed to just spectate here as Sabu takes a long walk as King Ott gets back to his feet. Charges. Sabu misses. Sabu with an elbow across the face of King Ott. I think King Ott's had it. He's punched on. Sabu charges again. Gets a hold of King Ott. Ott with a couple of elbows to the head. Disengages Sabu. Gets a hold of him. Escorts him back inside the ring. Ott follows him in. Charges. Nails him with a kick to the leg. Whoa! Oh my! King Ott pulling out all the tricks in the bag. Just blinded Sabu with fire. Shades of the Sheik. Unbelievable. King Ott now teeing off on Sabu with a steel chair. As time really begins to dwindle away here, King Ott sets up the chair in the corner, charges Sabu. Oh, clothesline. Takes Sabu down. King Ott with the mandible claw. Right on Sabu. He's got him. Oh, man. That's got to be it. 1, 2. Unbelievable. Sabu kicking out at 2 after the mandible claw from the deranged King. Oh, he is busted up bad. Whoa! An elbow right to the leg of Sabu. Again, King Ott gouging the face of Sabu. Gets a hold of him in a rear waist lock. Escorts him towards the far corner. Head first into the turnbuckle. Sabu drawn back out. A kick to the knee. King Ott off the middle rope and whoa! Oh, man. He took Sabu for a ride on that one. And King Ott demonstrating why he was a multi-time hardcore champion. Anything goes with the manic monarch of the Kingdom of Ru. King Ott rounded up by Sabu with the ankles again. Another whirligig. As King Ott catches another right from Sabu. Ott whipped to the rope. Whoa! Nice drop kick, but King Ott still standing. Sabu takes him towards the ropes. Gets a hold of him. Sabu countered by King Ott. Look at this, a duck under, but Sabu counters the counter. Unbelievable. Wow. That was amazing. Sabu. Is King Ott right where he wants him? He should go for the pin here, but he's got a chair. Oh, pitched it halfway across into the face of King Ott. Ott quickly back up to his feet, disarms Sabu with a shoulder tackle, takes him down, and we've got about a minute and a half to go here. Something's got to give. King Ott rounded up into a neckbreaker by Sabu. Oh, thumbs to the throat. That's an old man! For God's sake! King Ott catching a series of spiked thumbs to the throat from Sabu. And I guess all's fair in love and hardcore. Ott with a clothesline to Sabu takes him down. And he is certainly fired up. With a minute left, a hard shot right to the score. Here we go. Goes for the pin. Oh, look at this, an illegal cover, but it's not illegal here, and only a 2 count. Sabu catches the shot from King Ott. His Majesty whipped over the top rope, out on the apron, a shoulder tackle, takes him out to the floor. There's just a little over 30 seconds left. Sabu rounds up King Ott. Has him reverse Russian leg sweep, face first into the floor. When King Ott, Sabu is spent, King Ott is spent, and we are running out of time here. Sabu with a sledgehammer drives it into King Ott's chest, follows it up with a shot to the leg and another. With less than 10 seconds to go, a shoulder tackle. As King Up makes his way to the other side of the ring, and oh man, this one's definitely going to end in a draw.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time limit has expired, and this match is a time limit draw.
Well, they're not happy with that. Hell, I'm not happy with that either. Oh man, hot's still hot.
We'll be right back with more RWL Rage right after the break. Alright, we're closing out the first hour with another tag team match, and we are forecasting a serious Donnybrook as Niles Wickeser and Ballarat Jack Jones, the United Kingdoms, get set to face Killer and Psycho, the Texas Hangman.
I get to be here to watch it all. I should be out there with them, but, well, it's a long story.
This next tag team match is scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Coming down the aisle at a combined weight of 512 pounds from London, England, Niles Wickeser, and from Victoria, Australia, Ballarat Jack Jones, the United Kingdoms.
Lord help me, Tex, I'm going to ask. So does this music make you think of Christmas?
Nope, doesn't ring holiday bells for me, Dandy Don. It just makes me think of, like, PBS and Masterpiece Theater and stuff like that.
Well, in any case, the United Kingdom, Ballarat Jack Jones and Niles Wickeser back together in unison, set to go against the Texas Hangman. And this seems like a one-off to me, Tex.
Oh, this kind of is. It's kind of a, well, like Sylvia Strong likes to say, this is a tune-up match for Killer and Psycho, who got real busy the last time around. And, well, I'm looking forward to seeing them work some more.
But, what's the long story?
Huh?
The long story that you didn't tell, that why you're not out there with them.
Well, long story short, I have been kind of burning the candle at both ends and in the middle, so I told Danielle I'd just kind of kick back in the booth for tonight.
And their opponents representing the Ferrantino group at a combined weight of 625 pounds. Killer and Psycho, the Texas Hangman.
You know what, Dandy Don? They may not be the greatest team in RWO, but for my money, and it is my money, they are phenomenal. Killer and Psycho, the Texas Hangman, two brothers I picked out from the indie circuit because they fit the bill. Put those masks on them, they are now Killer and Psycho. You'll also notice they've been forced to put their names on the lower left calf of each of their ring gear. Apparently some referee complained that it's too easy to make a switch.
I was talking about that one of the other times. I mentioned the Twin Devils. They was always switching.
Yeah, I remember the Twin Devils, sure. Well, the Texas Hangman, well, they could do that with that whole look-alike thing they got going, but, I mean, I can tell them apart.
I know they're your boys and everything, Tex, but they are not going to have an easy time with the United Kingdoms.
I know it, and they know it. They came ready.
All right, then, Tex, it's going to be Ballarat Jack Jones with Killer starting first as per the Texas Hangman rule.
Got that right. Try to tell him he ain't going to be first.
Well, bell sounds. Here we go. Killer from behind with a shot to the back of Ballarat Jack Jones, whips into the immediately tagging in Psycho. And here comes a double team from the Texas Hangman. Whoa! Man! Ballarat Jack catching a dual slam as Psycho takes over for the Texas Hangman, starts going to work on the left leg of Ballarat Jack Jones. Drives a knee into the same leg repeatedly. He is working that leg, weakening it. And, well, there's a blatant choke.
He's just trying to help him up. He's heavy.
Indeed. Here comes Killer again on the tag. Ballarat Jack Jones with a running kick takes down Killer. Killer rounded up again. Ballarat Jack with a rebound kick right to the face of Killer. The Texas Hangman. Whoa! With a choke slam on Ballarat Jack Jones. And then rounds him right back up again. Ballarat Jack once again whipped to the Texas Hangman's corner. Killer going to work on the arm of Ballarat Jack Jones. Ballarat Jack counters. Goes after Psycho on the outside. Gets a hold of Killer. Rebounds off the rope. Flying kick to the face again from Ballarat Jack Jones. And in comes Niles Wickhauser. Killer. Whip to the corner. Nails Niles Wickhauser with an elbow. Whips him to his team's corner. Gets a hold of him. Here we go. A double rebound off the ropes and a spinning elbow. And there's a cover one. But Killer only able to hold him down for a one. As he tags in Psycho, Niles Wickhauser back up to his feet. Psycho right there to greet him, whips him to the ropes, has him up, drives a knee into the midsection and a spinning kick to the back of the head. And here's a cover and a hook of the leg. Wow, one. Just barely a two. No, a one, says referee Walt Rothburn. Wickhauser misses with the kick, rebounds off the middle rope, tags Psycho with a kick to the head. Whip to the far corner. As Wickhauser steps out, here comes Ballarat Jack again. Well, seeing Ballarat Jack back on the scene here, both men miss with their move. Ballarat Jack once more, whip to the Texas Hangman's corner. A series of driving knees into the midsection of Ballarat Jack. Ballarat Jack counters, escapes the corner, charges, running kick, takes down. Look, here's a cover, one. And right back up again. Rebound off the ropes, a flying punch. Taking Killer down to the canvas again, right back up on his, Psycho. Psycho, whip to the corner by Ballarat Jack. A series of driving knees into the midsection. There's a series of boots to the chest. Psycho catching all the weight of Ballarat Jack. Rebound off the old man. Right to the chest of Texas Hangman Psycho. Ballarat Jack gets a hold of him, shot to the midsection. Gets a hold of him off the ropes. Now choking. Psycho with the top rope. Ballarat Jack quickly countered by Psycho. Kick to the midsection. And a stunner. Down went Ballarat Jack. Quick hot tag to Niles Wickhauser. Psycho's got him up. Oh, man. Dropped him right on his head. Rebound off the ropes. Flying punch. Takes Wickhauser down. Niles Wickhauser can't even get to a standing position. Psycho right there with an elbow to the head. And again, a blatant choke of Niles Wickhauser.
Again, he's trying to help him up. He's just heavy.
Of course he is. And here comes Killer on the tag. Wickhauser in the far corner. Kick to the midsection. Another. And now Killer with a brutal face wash to Niles Wickhauser. Wake. Oh, man. Rebounded off the ropes. A boot right to the face of Niles Wickhauser. As Killer takes a moment to get some love from the fans. Here comes Ballarat Jack, a knee to the head. Takes him down to the canvas, a kick to the head of Texas Hangman Killer. Another kick to the head from Ballarat Jack Jones, coming out very aggressive here. Killer off the ropes, misses with his move. Ballarat Jack also missing with his. Rebound off the ropes, a flying punch. Finally taking Killer down to the canvas. What an exchange between these two. Ballarat Jack with a clothesline that spun him around. A series of short kicks to the head as Ballarat Jack bails, and here comes Niles Wickhauser. A charge. Oh, Wickhauser momentarily stunned. Rebound off the ropes, another flying punch. Taking down Texas Hangman Killer. Wickhauser locks him up. Hard whip to the UK corner. Kick to the midsection. A quick counter. An escape from the corner. Ballarat Jack about to catch it. 10 shots to the chest. Niles Wickhauser incapable of doing anything but looking on. And down goes Ballarat Jack. Niles Wickhauser with a sleeper on the Texas Hangman, but no, a jawbreaker that backs him off. Killer gets a hold of him, whips him to the rope. Oh, hard shot to the midsection. Wickerser whip to the Texas Hangman's corner, catching all kinds of shots. And oh man, down he went. Miles Wickerser catches a couple of boots to the chest here. The Texas Hangman firmly in control of the United Kingdoms at this juncture in the match. And oh, both knees right into the chest. And here's a cover with a hook of the leg. Oh, Ballarat Jack right there to save it for his team. Miles Wickerser rolls out to the floor. And Ballarat Jack is catching it on the outside. Oh man, here's he catching it. He's ever catching it. Another set of 10 shots to the chest for Ballarat Jack Jones, and he is going to go home with all manner of bruises. Down he went. Miles Wickerser trying to make, look at this. Disengaging the turnbuckle, exposing the steel. Wickerser with a shot, makes his way back into the ring, takes down the Texas Hangman, turns his attention to the one on the outside. Here we go. In retaliation, a series of 10-shot punches to the chest of the Texas Hangman, and down he goes. This one certainly gotten out of control. We called for it, and it certainly did come that way. Miles Wickerser laid out Ballarat Jack back to his corner. And the Texas Hangman, oh no, not again. Are you serious? Ballarat Jack just catching all kinds of hell from the Texas Hangman. And down he goes to the floor again. Miles Wickerser with a running punch. Takes him down. Here's a cover one. No, just the one. Miles Wickerser moving in on the Texas Hangman against the, look at this. Going after the other Texas Hangman on the outside. Again, another series of 10-shot punches. These teams going at it. Pound for pound, hammer and tong, move for move. And another series of brutal shots to the chest. Wickerser with a knee to the midsection and a spinning kick. Takes down the Texas Hangman. Psycho whip to the ropes. Here's a kick to the midsection. Miles Wickerser with a series of running knees. And now putting, oh, here's a quick counter. And up out of the corner comes the Texas Hangman. Oh, look at this. Wickerser from behind gets a hold of him. Whips him right back into the UK corner. There's another counter, another elbow to the face to Miles Wickerser. Wickerser whip to the Texas Hangman's corner. Oh, look at this. A calf kick against the ropes. Wickerser comes out of the corner. There's a kick to the gut. As in, look at this. A vulgar display of power here. Oh, good God. Miles Wickerser thought all of that moved. Psycho whips into the corner. Here comes Killer. Wickerser spun out center. Oh, look at this. They're going to sneak up on him. I love this. Watch this. This is great. They've got Wickerser up. They get a hold of him. And look at this. Oh! Wow. I don't know what you call that, but it certainly worked. Killer covers. 1, 2, 3. This one is all over.
Here's the time, 10 minutes and 17 seconds. And your winner, the Texas Hangman.
Well, guys, I hate to say I told you so and I knew it all the time, but I told you so and I knew it all the time.
Indeed, the United Kingdom's falling down here to Killer and Psycho, the Texas Hangman. That concludes the first half of tonight's RWL Rage. We will return with the second half after this brief intermission.